there. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I want to apologize. I don't have much of a voice, and I'm doing this a little differently than I normally would do it. And that's just because I couldn't find a great way to do it from my normal stream setup. So I am using my phone here. So one moment, let me make sure that everything is okay. And I'll go into exactly what I'm doing now. You may be asking yourself why you're looking at a Ninja Gaiden 3 poster. That's just what's on the door when you walk into the retro room. But the idea is I'm not really interested in everybody seeing me or what I look like. I know if you do want to do that, there's another channel for it. But I had gotten a lot of questions since I began. Gotten a lot of questions about doing some kind of a rundown of what my gear looks like, what the retro room kind of looks like in terms of layout or setup, and I figured that it may not hurt for me to go ahead and give that a shot. So this video, if nothing else, will be up for posterity and for other people who may want to look back on this and say, I've got better gear than that, or I didn't know that I could do that, or whatever the case might be. So I hope you guys can hear me really well, and I'll kind of just jump into things and try to do this as best I can. I'm doing it from a phone. This is all new to me, but I'll show you what I use for the stuff that is not so new to me. So the retro room is a room I've made for gaming. So when you walk into it, it's got game stuff all over the place. You take a look right behind the door, all kinds of cool little odds and ends. And yes, I did opt to do LEDs back here, and I'll show you the back. There's not really any good reason to do it. I just did it because they were not terribly expensive, and so I think it was like $4 for the reel. But I'll give you kind of a quick rundown. Of course, I do some PlayStation 1s and Dreamcast, etc. But I'm going to go ahead and turn around, and this is going to be kind of the reveal. This is the part I don't think has ever really been on camera in any format. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Let me turn it sideways so you guys are in this 16:9 aspect ratio, and then I'm going to move over, and I'll just kind of do it one wall at a time. So I like to have games that are there. I am a collector, so I kind of nerd out with little statues, odds, ends, etc. And so very few people have gotten to see this thing, thankfully, just because of kind of the crazy circumstances. But I don't keep every game I have out here. I kind of just keep ones that I enjoy, or ones that I play often, or ones that I am interested in playing in an upcoming stream, as well as little knickknacks and puzzles and things that I enjoy. I do keep a good plethora of Wii games out. So just because I happen to have a Wii stand for it, and I keep my little shelves here, so nothing terribly major when it comes to that. And over here, all the way up and down, these go about 2-3 deep depending on which shelves you see. So lots and lots of gear and games, but I don't really display them for the most part. I just play them. Thought it might be something interesting to see, but it's really just kind of the gear closet for that. And there are several other areas in the house where we keep games just like that, just tons and tons and tons of games. I like to keep a little area where we keep controllers as well. So if I need a controller, it's all in here. And please forgive, there's a lot of dust. I've been sick, so I haven't really kept up to par with the dusting. But I keep different controllers in here, just depending. There's more Xbox controllers. And if I come up here, there are even more controllers, and so on and so forth. So just making sure I have something for any game. I'm going to go and turn the other way because this is the easy part. For anybody who has watched Meccano's cards, I'll also have a table here on this guy. It's a Toshiba. I believe this is a 55-inch television, so nothing too terribly big, but I also use it as a monitor. Oh, and I missed it. Gib84 says, just tuned in, love a gamer room tour. Oh, thank you so much, Gib. I appreciate it. I have been gone for a while due to my, I've been sick. So you might hear my voice sounds a little weird. And a lot of people were asking about the gear and stuff. Love the card stuff too. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I figured I would do just kind of a setup of, or a kind of look of what my stuff looks like. And some people had asked about the gear. So if people can use this for that, great. If not, that's okay too. I keep, speaking of the card stuffs, so I keep, like I said, I keep games just kind of on the, for example, that's my childhood picture. Those all right there, that's just that's a very small fraction of the playing cards that I use and have. Just a ton of that. I don't really put a lot of games out. A lot of them are stored inside, like I said, of closets, just much like these. I just stopped having room, so I kept retro ones, and then other ones were kind of elsewhere. I hope you can hear me okay. I hope everything sounds okay. So I use a 55-inch Toshiba for the HD games. And this, except please pardon the dust, as I've been a little under the weather, so it's been difficult. But if I take a look down here, the exposure will go. It's very dusty right now, but you can see I've got all kinds of wires. This is just everything that I need to manage it. So a couple statues. I have a couple of 360s now. That's two of, I think I have 6 or 7 of those now. They just red ringed so often, so when they got really cheap, I bought a bunch of them. Wii U and so on and so forth. And to keep everything flowing, all of my capture is done through an Elgato HD60 here. And it's all run the way I've got it all hooked up here. This is a very confusing mess of wires, is through this right here. This is a Monoprice Blackhawk. It's an 8-in, 1-out switcher. I think it's about $50-$60, not too terribly much, in the long run. But then what ends up happening is you end up with all of these HD consoles in ports 1 through 7, and then one output which runs into your Elgato here. So you can actually just, all of these right here, stream directly to that. So if I want Switch, for example, there's no Switch there, but I would just tap the 2. I'd be on Switch. If I wanted the Wii U, for example, I'd tap the 1. It all just passes through there. And that goes all for all of the HD consoles. So that includes the PS3, which this does not pass through HDCP, so no problem with that HD video, and so on and so forth. So you can see that. So like I said, pardon the dust, please, as I've been sick. I haven't really dusted in here in some time. I actually haven't been in here in a couple weeks, really. So the next piece that I have for the not HD games, for the SD games, is over here. And I'm going to stay out of this because it's a big reflection for me. You'll see what's coming, but I don't want to be on this channel. This is a big RCA. This is a projector-style CRT television. This is what I use for the retro games. It maintains the 4:3 aspect ratio. It's just a big screen version of that. I rebuilt this back in 2015, I think, maybe 16. I rebuilt this thing, and it works famously now, thank goodness. And for games that don't have that don't have the RCA ports, I have this guy up here. So I can go into it with a coaxial and then come out with it. The back has RCA ports, the front has an extra pair of RCA ports if I need them. And so that's what I use. Now, I do additionally use, if anyone decides that they're interested, as a kind of B-roll camera, I do use a Canon Rebel T5 with a special lens. This is one of the supersonic lenses. I bought it at a pawn shop. It's about an $800 lens, but I was lucky and bought it at a pawn shop for about, I think I paid $50 for it all in. So it works really, really well. And being a collector, of course, you come up with these old statues. This really, what it does is hide a little bit of the wiry mess. And this guy right here in the back is an 8 terabyte hard drive to make sure that I can keep all of my stuff archived comfortably without running out of too much memory too quickly, I suppose. And this guy right here is the computer, and this thing has been through the ringer. This was built back in 2015. It's been upgraded a few times, but this thing has been beaten up. Someone attempted to steal it at one point, and it had a Kensington lock in it, which prevented that. It's not a super beast or anything like that. It's just a decent one. It does pretty well, but now we've gotten it upgraded. It's got I believe it's setting now, since I've switched it, it's 32 gigs of DDR4 shark fin. Now it's liquid cooled. It's got a 1 terabyte hard disk drive in there. That Black Flag Edward statue is it's pretty cool. I like it quite a bit. And I have a couple of these. I have a lot of these different little statue guys. I just don't have room to display them all. I may do some giveaways of some of those, just putting them in better homes than I might be able to provide. I know I have a microphone giveaway too. Things changed. So I'm still doing that microphone giveaway and all of that good stuff. I just, things caused me to be away for a while, so I apologize. But I'm still doing that giveaway, and I'll hopefully have, I'll have it, I'm not going to hopefully have it. I'll have more information probably in a tweet later this week on what we have to do to enter for that. But yeah, this one's not too complicated. It is liquid cooled, and I've upgraded the GPU a couple of times. 1060, so it's not like the 3080 or anything. 1060, and I believe it's the 1066. So yeah, that's which is pretty nice. And then up here is my last monitor. This one's a 46-inch, I believe. This is a 46-inch television I bought at a pawn shop. Yet again, I use it for my second monitor. And so that's where I can see everything that's going on as I'm streaming from this guy right here. I can see chat, commentary, everything that's going on the channel. I can see here. It's just normally running. Now, right now, I've got the big monitor running Streamlabs, and it's having its own issue. I'm doing this, like I said, from the phone, so it doesn't actually mess with that. But now up here's where I can see all the chat, see what's going on, change scenes, all that kind of good stuff. And then this is where it gets a little bit messy, so you can kind of see here. This is just, I love Wii U, so I have Wii U games. But it gets kind of messy over here. Oh, and why is Snoopy out? Is Snoopy particularly good? Did I run out of space? The answer is neither. I just have two Snoopies, and I try to, this is how I remind myself I have a duplicate of this one, so I can do something with it. I have another one right there, actually. This is the other one, so. So this is where things get a little messy looking. I try to avoid it, but it's just no way to. What Keith Apicary would call a wire squid here. And what it is down here, I need to find a better way to mount these just because they are a mess right now. But these are 4 in, 1 out composite. So all of my retro systems run out of, they're daisy chained basically. So this one runs to this one runs to this one. So they become 3 in, 1 out. This one's 2 in, 1 out. And then I run one composite cable all the way back here into an upscaler, composite to HDMI upscaler. And then that upscaler runs all the way back over here into input 8. And so I now have all of my retro stuff on capture, and I don't have to plug in and plug out all that. I can just kind of push a button here and push one button over there, and it works. And that brings me to, I'll step back so you can see some of the cool stuff here. Ouch, bumped into something, my apologies. So you'll notice also right there, you'll probably notice that I have an NES Advantage in the place of where my NES would be. That's just because I took the NES out to do some repair work on it. I did some repair work on the pins, on the actual reader in it. So that's what happened. But here's where I keep a lot of the retro. So you'll see, Koopa's World says evening. Good evening. For us, it's actually kind of mid-afternoon. So if you are coming from another part of the world, welcome. I really appreciate it. And I'll give this a nice thumbnail and everything, but people were asking, I was going to make a full-on video and I just hadn't had time to edit. For anybody who's watched any of my older videos, even just that little bit of editing typically took me several hours. So, but here I have the SNES. That's a Mark II. I do have a Mark I, but I use the Mark II because I've modified it so that it will read cartridges that are not here. Feed me chicken says only the British watching Kib 84 says UK massive, all the way from the UK. Fantastic. Well, hey, thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I'm doing something super nerdy and weird, and most people may not even care about it, but some people did ask about the gear and the stuff, and I thought, well, I'll just show it all and see what people want. So, but thank you so very much for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's always great to have great company, and of course, Gib, I have some. I've had some interaction with you, so I think that's and you seem fantastic as well. So I really appreciate you for being here too. That's wonderful. This is where I keep most of the older stuff. I won't lie, just because it is quicker than me going into that closet, which I showed earlier. I sometimes will use an EverDrive just because it's quicker. But I have the hard copies in that closet of it. And then if it's something that I play all the time, it'll typically stay out here. And I know it's not good to leave games in the consoles, but at the same time. So, for example, in this one right here, I've got the Adventures. I'll get this out of the way. I've got the Adventures of Batman and Robin. This one's been. I leave it in there because I did modify it so it doesn't have a dust tray, so that it will play Super Famicom games as well. But you can't put the dust tray in and still have it do that. So this game actually is protecting everything from dust. My nest normally goes here, just did repairs on it. Like I said, everything's dusty right now because I haven't had a chance to clean up in 6, so I apologize. And then this down here is the Sega Cdx, and of course Castlevania being my favorite franchise, that's normally what's in it. Gold Nintendo 64, my wife, and her stream across the way. I say across the way, she's literally in the room next door. She has the Pokemon one, so that's hers, and then I have the gold one. And Feed Me Chicken says, "What's your fave system to play when away from YouTube?" That's a good question. I would say 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the SNES, the Super Nintendo, with that last 10 time out of 10 probably being the NES. I really love the Nintendo, but the Super Nintendo I spend more time on that, I think, than anything. And I have a Super Boy, too, so I have the little handheld one. Loving the Golden 64. Thank you very much. I think they did. I think they were released around the time Majora's Mask or Ocarina. I can't remember which were around with Toys R Us. I think did it. Which of course they went away and now they're coming back. This one's just a decal on top of it. It's a purple one, and then of course I do have the down here at the bottom. I do have for the Game Boy, and the Game Boy player with the disc. And the sleeve, I got really lucky. I got this before it got expensive. Now it's super hard to come by, I hear. That Gold 64 is lovely. Thank you very much. Over here is the Sega Saturn. Like I said, everything's dusty. I do apologize. And then there's an action replay. Just because I hacked the action replay, I wanted to be able to play region-locked games. PlayStation's much the same. This is a Gen 1. I do have a PS1. And down there, if you can see it, there's another action replay for the same reason, just getting rid of that region locking. And then down here, Dreamcast. See if it'll come back into focus. I hope it does. We'll pull it back a little bit, because I know it's out of focus right now. There we go. And then my Atari Jaguar. And, a Jaguar down there. Yes, sir. Or ma'am, I apologize. I didn't mean to assume. Yes, I have a Jaguar. I only have one controller for it, sadly, so I can't play the multiplayer. Gooba's World says the sleeves are really hard to find. Yeah, I happened to buy that years and years ago before things got absolutely insane. And so it's tricky nowadays is what I hear, but I haven't really done much. Of course, like I said, I love the Wii U. I do have a couple of Wii choice games. Wii and Wii U are really awesome and underrated consoles, I think. I don't play them as much as I used to, but when it first came out, I played a ton of these usually have little extra bits and bobs that I have. Chessboard. Oops. Speaking of which, the bishop's off center. And this is a Pandora's box. I was going to buy one full price, but I had credit with a local pawn shop. They happen to have one. And I talked them down to, they were selling it for $60, but they said it had a cosmetic defect. And I talked them down to $30. The cosmetic defect I found out was very easy to fix. So you can see it's just, it was one of these little guys was cracked and I was able to replace it. And that was, I got it for free because I had a $33 credit with them and it was only $30. So I actually didn't have to pay anything. I like the consoles on the wall too. Thank you. Yeah, I have a couple of those. There's my NES and SNES Mini over there. And then, over here, there's the Sega Mini and then the PlayStation Mini. I don't really mess with them much since I have most of the games. I just got them for collecting. Victor Leo says hi. Oh, hi, Leo. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Jordy Slasher Gaming, very nice chessboard too. Stimulate the mind as well as the fingers. Absolutely. I was a big fan of chess. I played in high school. I was the football guy and I was a chess guy. And my little one, our daughter, likes to play chess as well, and so I bought this way back then. Glad your health is better. Thank you. You can hear I still don't have much of a voice, but yeah. Gibbity Forces, what's that Ultimate Alliance stuff on the wall? That was just some of the marketing. So I was in middle management for GameStop for several years in the early 2010s. So about 10 years ago, I guess. And that would have been. And I really, really enjoyed this game. This is X-Men Legends, in my opinion, is better. But I really enjoyed this one. So I have one of the marketing promo boxes and posters up. I think this game came out in 2009. So it's crazy. I guess I'll go over since people are asking, or since you've asked. I have most of that. Like a lot of it's marketing. I have Ninja Gaiden, Sonic Generations, which I actually thought was pretty great. I'm a humongous Star Wars fan. So there's a really neat Kylo. This is before episodes 8 and 9 came out, and I realized I was going to be kind of eh. Deus Ex Human Revolution, which I'm a tremendous fan of, the Deus Ex series. And then over here on this side, I have a KOTOR, so another Star Wars thing. And I have lots of just little tidbit Star Wars too. So I have that. But then over here, I've got a Darth Vader behind my Pitfall and one of my ETs. And then I have, like for example, here, this is from the Kylo Ren. They sold a Kylo Ren cell phone, which is what I'm actually filming this on. It was a Star Wars limited edition cell phone. It was Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Love this phone. And they gave this really cool little metal plaque with it, which I thought was worth having. Oh, I forgot to put my wedding ring back on. I feel bad. I'll correct that after this, if that's all right. And then like I said, little statues. There's Tekken, right? There's Heihachi and Kazuya going up against each other. You have loads of stuff. Yeah, I guess I'll show you, Mr. Or Heavyweights. Yeah, I have. This is just some of it. This is one of the gaming closets, and we have a couple of gaming spots to the house. This is just the retro room. But like if you come into this is where all my gear and stuff gets stashed. It's pretty messy, and I apologize just because it is. But yeah, I have quite a few games. A couple of extra parts, right? I always keep an extra capture card. If you take a look up here, there's an extra one of these. I'll show what these are in a minute if you aren't familiar. Down there at the bottom, that's an extra interface, extra microphone. I will be, like I said, I still am doing a giveaway. I will still be giving away a microphone and interface and the cable, by the way. I'm jelly. I used to have a micro GB. I love that thing. Yeah. My wife actually brought that one to the table, which is really nice. But then over here, and these are some of the statues I was talking about I don't have room for. God of War one was a gift. I'll never part with that one because it's a great friend of mine. But I have Cole up here. I have Nathan Drake down here. There's a Game Gear. Just lots of little, there's a Reggie Bush up there and so on and so forth. Extra PlayStation in case I run out. You can see all the other gaming. I guess I should show. It's a mess. But I guess I should show it. How casual was that? This is just the retro. Well, I'm sorry. I enjoy. It's the name of the channel is a room. I don't know. I apologize. I didn't mean for that to come off. If that came off too matter of factly, but yeah, that's that all-in-one printer is super retro. You'd be surprised how often I find myself needing to use it though. That's just the box for it, which has some of the extra pieces and parts. But yeah, up here you can see there's a Force score, of course. There's an Atari. I've got 3 of those 2600s. I see Sega. Yeah, those are 2 Gen 1s up there. I don't use those just because I'm using the CDX right now. But if ever the CDX goes bad, I'll have that. Extra microphone, stance pad. There's an original Xbox just because they fail. I try to have extra. I love. I like them. I don't find a lot more of the articulated ones, but let's see. So they just little things. Commodore VIC-20 in box. Sega CD, of course, which is in box, and then the Marvel vs. Capcom is actually a fight stick. So, and then down here is just kind of all these extra wires and monitors and cameras and stuff that I don't use a bunch. So, but yeah, you can see. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, by the way, for anybody. I don't know much about it. This wand was gifted to me from a wedding I had gone to. So I don't know anything about it. But any which way, so I apologize to disappoint. But yeah, extra stuff. Like this is all extra stuff. There's a shotgun mic with a dead cat on it. Another shotgun mic down here without dead cat filter. And crimper for terminating Cat 5, all that kind of boring stuff. And then these, I wish I wouldn't stack these on top. This is actually filled to the brim with indie games I have that don't have cases. There are, I think, 80 in each of these. I have a few of these, but I just need cases for them. So I think there's 80 games per case. Most of them are PS2 and original Xbox. So, but yeah, there's quite a few games. I like to play games. Let's see. Kids play with toys, men collect action figures. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. I'll back out of that though. Yeah, you can see just like ring light. It's a gear closet for certain. And then the way, like I said, these are just games that I either like or want to have on the reach because I play them. So like, for example, Chrono Trigger, I love. Dracula X, I love. Those types of things. Castlevania 4, of course. And so Eye of the Beholder. So there's a lot of that. Hi, all right. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you for stopping in. And then I have very few. It's ironic. I have very few complete in box. These are all Mega Man games. That's weird to say. I believe it's 3, 4, 5. I can't remember. I'll have to double check on that. And then some of them I have in box, aftermarket boxes, and then original boxes, of course. That's really nice. Kamikaze Ikun and Sega Blocks. Hey guys. I'm sorry if I had missed you and you had been in earlier. I really appreciate you guys for stopping in. So yeah, a lot of that. Like I said, I just use, this is a little table I use. This is a little foldy table for my card channel. And then there's some of the cards I have. The only thing that I have that rivals games are decks of playing cards. Duke from the Balls of Steel edition. Duke Nukem. Let's see. Do you know how much an AV cable original GameCube run in price I've been looking for? The original AV cable is not terribly expensive. I know the HD ones are pretty pricey. I believe they're up in the like $80, but regular composite cable I think you can find for $8 at my local store. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. AR, I'm actually in the other room. Retro, come on, let's say hello to camera, guys. I wish it were so. I'd be happy to give this. But actually in the next room over, this leads to a hallway, and then there's another room next to it, and my wife, she is streaming there at the Siren Ivy. So if anybody ever does get a chance to check her out, I know some of you have. She's really fun. I'm a little bit more PG than her in terms of language, but she's so fun to watch. There's a decent stash of SNES and NES. Yeah, and these are just, like I said, these are just my on-hands, ones I like to pull. I do have a whole, I feel bad about this. But if I come down here, and I'll show this off here, and it's going to show how it's going to be, this is shameful. But if you take a look just past there, there's more in these boxes that I still have to organize. So as disorganized as all of this is, there's still more down here. That's 64 actually. But as disorganized as all this is, I do have them all cataloged as well via an app that I use called CLZ Games. It costs me like $2 a month, and I catalog everything. So at least I know what I shouldn't be. There's some Jaguar up here too. Kasumi Ninja, Cybermorph, Iron Soldier, and I think the other one's Brutal Sports Raiden. I have Brutal Sports Football around here somewhere too, which is a lot of fun. It's D&D meets football, American football. So let's see. Your wife is awesome. She's streaming right now. Oh, well, thank you so much, Lux. I think she's fantastic. She said she would be okay if I streamed really quickly while she was on. So I figured that would be, if you guys are. I'm sad and I have a monthly cleaning schedule, so I don't forget anything. I spend about 6 hours a month cleaning, dusting. Your room looks clean. You're very kind to say so. I've actually been out of this room. Normally I'll clean it, but I normally I'll be in here and I'll sweep and such. I haven't been in here in a couple of weeks because I have been sick, so it actually is a lot dustier than the camera is keeping. But normally I'll just come in here. I'll come in here once or twice a week, depending, and I'll sweep everything. And of course, I'm one of those where if I grab something, I'll put it back, immediately after or something like that. And then if it ever gets real bad, I'll take 3-4 hours and just give it a whole dust down. It won't need that again for another couple months. It'll need to be dusted, but it won't need to be, completely redone. Riding on the Jag, that's got to be easily the best game for it. That, or to be fair, Doom is actually really, really good on the Jag. Alien vs. Predator is decent. It's about 33% good. Hey, if you ever part with those Vita games, let me know. Of course, I may have dupes, and I'm actually looking to go through my collection soon to do dupes. And that's awesome. I enjoy your streams. Oh, thank you. We both trade the wife roll every weekend, actually. Hey, and the penny just dropped. That's why you're in the next room then. That's yeah. She's pretty great. So, um, but yeah, I keep a lot of these, and then I have these this 9-shelf. This little table's super easy to move. It's a little disorganized just because I have stuff on it. But I'll go ahead and show. I mean, it's got a strategy guide for my favorite game because I needed to give it some look, and then I have remotes for everything, and my camera, the one that I use for cards, is here right now. But yeah, other than that, this is just where I keep controllers and such. These are, like I said, these are all just different packs of cards that I use, different stocks and finishes. Wii U charger, and then down below is a Master Chief figure, and of course we have links. And then these are all books relating to cards or magic in some capacity. And this is actually a card press. If the cards start to get nasty and beveled, you put them in there, you clamp it down, leave them there for about 48 hours, and that'll fix it. God of War statue, and then I have 360 and PS3 charging there, and then up here is PS4 and Move and Xbox One. So, and then of course a Dracula because he's my favorite from the new series. Let me see if I can move this as well as I moved it back. The answer is probably not, so I'm not going to do that. Nice MTG. Do you sleeve yours? Where did you see MTG? I'm probably missing it. I'm not familiar with. I think it's Magic the Gathering, but I don't know much about Magic the Gathering. My cards are just these cards here are all just variations of playing cards. If that's what you were. Oh, I'm sorry. Do Magic with cards, like illusion, like a magician would do. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're those. Like I'll show you here. Darren Brown, Devilry, Scarnian cards, that kind of Magic. I'm sorry. I'm not very familiar. I played Magic a little while, but yeah, these just come out like these are Madison dealers. You know, these are casino style cards. All right, so I guess I'll move over to what the back area, which I might be saying. Oh, that would be fantastic. Darren Brown is one of my heroes. I would love to know what that's like. It sounds so cool. Moving this way, we've got the Helgen helmet. I did show it earlier. These little drawers, for anybody who's curious, these are all just controllers. These are just where I keep all of there's Xbox there. These are also Xbox. I think these are GameCube up here, 64. So I keep everything organized. Helgen helmet. And now everybody gets to see the back end of what I do. So everybody's kind of already seen the HD TV here. Card stuff is cool, really relaxing. I hope so. That's kind of the environment I wanted to make with it. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so like I said, we have that Helga's mask is awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I said, I have some of the stuff I have duplicates of, which I may be doing giveaways for. So I want to do the giveaway with the microphone first. I want people to be able to get a cool microphone. I'll show some stuff off, but and then after that, I may do some of these gaming statues and game giveaways. I think I have way too much. I'd love them to go to good homes, and I believe I have another one of those Hellgast helmets. So like I said, we've got this. This is where I'm doing all my recording stuff. Now, if we come over here, Star Wars clock. Also, I don't do well in the sun, so everything's all together. So this is what my filming side looks like. Or my voiceover side. So there's the wall. Just things that are hung up. Obviously, games I love: Splinter Cell Convictions, Darksiders, Marvel vs. Capcom. Haven't found anything there. Anna got me those, and I love them. The Gambit and the Royal Flush painting, which I think is really cool. But this is the part. This is where I stream. It's just a nice 4-person couch. Actually, believe it or not, I got this couch for $20. Some people were just looking to get rid of it. It's got little massagers in it and heat and such. So it's kind of nice. And then here's some of the microphones that I use. So we've got that thing that I showed, that big foam ball that I showed. I use these. This is an Electron PFA. These are about $30. They're not very expensive. And inside of this one is another one of this microphone, which is one of my favorite microphones. Let's see, can I show it off? Kind of. This is the AKG C214 specifically. So that's what that looks like. Yeah, it's a pretty microphone. Sounds pretty good too. Not too bad. And then these are my loud mics right here. Thumb Brother says, hey, Thumb, how you doing, bud? I hope you're doing well. I know I sound a little different right now. Please, if you don't mind forgiving that, I am having a great time with a lot of great people right now, and I think that's awesome. So these are the microphones that I have for player 2, or player 3, player 4, actually, I think right now. No, player 2, player 3 is 2 of these. So this right here is the same microphone as what's inside of this guy here. And these are my favorite. I use for anybody, if you're an audiophile or if you're a big audio gear person and you're curious, AKG C214. And then the cable, this one's a Neutrik. I usually use Neutrik or Mogami if you're looking for good low noise. If you're not an audiophile, no worries either. And then this little guy, I use these little guys in case I have to get louder if I have a lot of company. That's a Samson CO2. They're about $99 for a pack of 2, so $50 a mic. They sound really, really good. If you have been over to my wife's channel, she's using one of these, and it sounds really nice. And so I like these. But usually if it's something that's got to get loud, I'll put one of those up, and so I can yell and get the audio in a mic that's a little farther away. I don't usually yell. I'm pretty calm. So then this is a Mogami cable with the Neutrik end. And then, like I said, these little guys I haven't gotten to show you the favorite mic yet. This is one of my favorites, but I have to show you my favorite. So this right here is just a little pop filter. It comes out, and it's really thick foam, and then inside of that's another piece of foam, and then you can see that's that same microphone right there. It just keeps me from picking up all that nasty game audio and echo and such. I'm just happy to have a mic. Oh, of course. This isn't, and by the way, this isn't a boasting thing at all. I'm giving away a mic and oops, I may not be able to put that back in one-handed. I'm not boasting about that. I don't mean to either, if it is the case. A couple of people had asked me, and I don't want to name drop because I don't know if that's the case anymore, but have asked about some of the gear I use. And like I said, I will be raffling off some of this gear for someone who might want it or need it to get their stream going as well. Some of this gear I'll be not raffling off. That involves money. I'll be doing a giveaway. That's what I'm looking for. There won't be any payment. I just want people. I want to know who wants one, and then I'll do a random giveaway because I think it's great. I want to give some too. On this side, this is what my setup looks like, or where I usually sit. It's right here. Little keyboard. That's Xbox is plugged in there. I'm happy with my phone. Hey, absolutely. You don't come across as boasting. Okay, good. I don't want anyone to. That's not the thing. I've been very fortunate over the years to have accumulated some nice stuff, and I've got too much. I don't use it, so I want to give away some of it to some people, and I'm kind of just showing it for people that don't want to wait on a giveaway. That they're maybe they're wanting to go out and buy something tomorrow. Just kind of give people a sense of what I use. Okay, sorry. Stop boasting. I hope not. I hope it doesn't come across that way. I don't mean for it to if it does. So this is just another one of those CO2 mics. I love these mics. These are just so cool. They look like that. They're little pencil condensers, what you'd call this, but and then little windscreen. Thank you very much. So this one right here, this is actually probably one of the best microphones. This is probably the best microphone for the cost that I have. I think this is the Blue Ember. It's $100 microphone. I use it when I'm so my wife and I have been playing. We've played Don't Starve, and we play it. She's on her computer in there. I'm on mine in here. And when she's streaming, this is the mic I'll use to talk with her. So I can bring it in, and she can hear me talk, and it's all nice and clear. And then she's using one of these. She was using this one, but it just was too echoey for her room. Excuse me. So she's using one of these right now, which gets rid of that echo for her. And then I just traded her, and I'm using this one because I've got a little bit more. She's got her desk facing a wall, whereas me, I'm kind of facing an open room, so it's not as bad with this guy. And then, of course, lots of headphones. Everybody's got every headphones. These ones are Audio-Technica ATH M30s. They sound pretty good. They just got a long cable is the big thing. My favorite mic of all time here, and my favorite gear, the thing I use, is this guy right up here. And let me move this mic out of the way really quickly so that I can get to this other one. is my baby, and there's a reason for it, and it's just dumb luck. More headsets. I do have a headset just in case with a microphone. This is Sennheiser, and if anybody is just an audio file, they love the way that things sound. These headphones are really nice. I yet again picked these up at a pawn shop for $40, I think, or something like that. HD 6XX rather. They sound really, really nice. If you're not an audiophile, no big deal. If you are an audiophile, I like those, but wait until he shows you these top 25 favorite mics. These are just the tester ones. I do actually have a top 25 for that. I love microphones. I started collecting them, and I've got way too many. But I actually do have a top 25 favorite microphones. And I believe number 25 is the MXL 990. It's funny, but it's somewhat true. Open back headphones are my favorite. However, sound bleeds too much in the office. And I agree. I did happen to mitigate that a little bit with a Chaotica eyeball. These things, in my opinion, I'm not trying to sound rude when I say this, are not worth what they cost. These cost $200 from the company Chaotica. I paid $35 for this one. Yet again, pawn shopping. I paid $35 for it. They're great. They work really well. $200 for foam is just too expensive for me. But they do really work well. That's why I recommend these little Ultrons. These are like $35 a pop, and they do like 95% as well as these ones do. But the microphone inside, the one that I like, my favorite, is this. I don't know if you can see it really well. This is a Neumann TLM 103. Yet again, these are all I'm not just exorbitantly wealthy. I do a lot of pawn shopping, and I get all of this stuff for way cheap. So this is an $1,100 microphone, but I found it at a pawn shop for $200 and change, and I traded in some cheap mics that I didn't use anymore, and I walked out all in $40. So that's the only reason I have this mic, but it is a really clear and clean sounding mic, and I absolutely love it. So this is what I normally use. Is that TLM one. And then for the interface, for anybody who's curious, these are all XLR mics. You have to have an interface. I bought this off of Mercari from another really nice guy. Open back headphones, another term for on ear, over the ear. Not quite. So open back headphones it's kind of more of a referral to or reference to this right here. In this case, this is a very clean example. So you can see this is graded, and then on the inside you can actually see right there. You can actually see the driver, and that driver is so that sound can bleed out of the back of it. It's kind of got a freer chamber or a freer area of sound versus something like this. This is a closed back headphone, and it's got this kind of clear cup on it, and all of the sound's kind of self-contained in these right here. You're not going to get a lot of audio bleed because of this seal that this foam creates, and there's no opening back here that allows any sort of vent. Open back seems to be a little truer, but audio bleed becomes a problem. So, but that's what that typically means. I don't know if I cleared up anything at all, but I hope that was somewhat helpful. Gib84 says, what game are you currently playing? That's a good question. I've kind of been dabbling in a couple of different games. Honestly, the one I've been playing the most recently has been the Castlevania collection. I was playing Simon's Quest the other day. But if we go into like a more recent game, I was playing. I did a bad guy playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2 a couple days ago. Other than that, I kind of dropped. The one I've been putting time into and don't feel like I've been making any progress is Shadow Gate. Is it Shadowgate for the SNES? I think that's what it is. I have to double check. That's the one I don't think I'm making any progress, but I've been having fun with it anyway. Oh, so this is the interface that I use. Yet again, overkill. You wouldn't need something like this. I say overkill. Actually, it does make sense because I do have, if you've seen the Lion King episode on my channel, I had 7 people, I think it was. And this has only 8 mic inputs. So this isn't actually overkill necessarily. But But yeah, this is the interface I use. It's the PreSonus AR12. I like PreSonus a lot, and this is where all the microphones go. And it's really nice because, um, just being hypothetical, I mean, I don't want to give a tutorial on this because I don't think anybody's really all that interested. But it is. Let me move the mic so I can come around here. I can have my audio managed separately. I can see everything. I can see which mics are hot, which mics are getting input. This mic is probably the one farthest from me. And I know this one is this microphone right here. And I can adjust these independently. If someone's a little loud, if I'm loud, or if I'm not very loud, I can do that. And this person's maybe a little louder and they're here, and And then on top of that, my game audio, if it's PC audio, my music is all dialed to this. And then I can even do my game audio. If I don't like the way my game is sounding, it's not coming through very clear, I can adjust it here and just kill the virtual pass-through. So this is what the interface looks like. All my microphones and sounds are coming in here, and I can make little adjustments. It's pretty nice. It's worked out pretty well. I bought it on Mercari. Yet again, piece of equipment that I just bought for cheap, and I was able to buy it for $130. And I think he actually threw in 3 headsets, but it wasn't these 3. He threw in this microphone one, and then another Sennheiser, and then no, I think he may have just thrown in 2 actually, because I bought this at a different side. I think that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, so that's what that all looks like. So when I do my setup, let me move this microphone back. When I stream and do my setup, yeah, this is what things kind of look like from my side. Whoops. This normally won't be poking out though, like that. But you'll see I did that and then I didn't set it up right, so now it fell over. There we go. But yeah, so this is kind of what my setup will look like. I'll just be sitting there and I'll have a microphone and play a game and have fun. And it's usually pretty good. I don't know if that's given anybody any sort of insight or if anybody's been remarkably interested, but I really want to say thank you, everybody, for coming in and saying hi. And did you do a good amount of rearranging to get this set up? I think this is the third iteration of this room that I had. I always wanted to have a retro room studio, and it was way more rudimentary at the very beginning. And the microphone, I didn't have good microphones, and then I traded the rooms out because I was redoing the flooring in here, which you can see is not this carpet needs to be vacuumed, but it's hardwood. This is actually just a gigantic rug. And when I decided I was going to redo the floors in here, I said, okay, I'm going to just redesign it from the ground up. Drew out my little blueprints and I was able to do it, and it worked out really well. So it feels spacious. I can play games and be comfortable. And if a friend comes over, or friends come over, or if my wife wants to stream with me, she can just sit right next to me, and she's all good too. But it did take 3 iterations. The very first iteration of the retro room was in 2016, and the second iteration was in 2018, and then the third iteration was ironically in 2020. So it was always in 2-year increments for some reason or another. And the iteration before this one was just so cluttered. There was the couch was here, and that television was flat against that wall, and this television right over here was setting up on a thing, or no, that television was setting there. I didn't have this television, and I was just like, I can do better than that. It just wasn't as comfortable. So now sorry about the lag there. Now it's just a lot more comfortable to kind of be in and sit down. And these these don't normally get in the way. Normally I'll pull these back and I'll have them like overhead. I'll have them. This can actually reach out another almost foot. So I'll push it over here, and then that mic will just be dangling over here, so there's no poles in front of everybody when they're sitting. So it's like a gaming room, studio, recording room, and a chill out room. Nice comment. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It's if we wanted to move the microphones over to the side, you see that these ones are they were used recently, but if I wanted to move this over and move that over, and we just game out, no problem. And then if we decide to record, I just turn the recording software on up there, and we're good to go. So we're weapons hot, so to speak. At Thumb Brothers, the room is like Nirvana. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Something that I like I said, I wanted it to be comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, I guess this is my opinion. If you're not comfortable with what you're doing, the room to rule all rooms, Kevin. Thank you. If you're not comfortable, then it gets conveyed that you're not comfortable. If you're sitting in an awkward position and streaming for 2 or 3 hours, then you're like, oh, I don't want to, and you start to get irritable, or that starts to get conveyed, I feel like, a little bit. And so if I'm sitting here and I'm comfortable and I'm playing a game, it's like, hey, everything's kind of chill and feels, welcoming, I think. But yeah, that's I got little puzzles too. Those little puzzles. But yeah, that's what my setup looks like, give or take. It's just that little guy right there is a 2 terabyte hard drive. I think I have that one run. No, I'm sorry, that's a 4 terabyte hard drive. That goes into the Xbox One, so I have game space. And like I said, that's all dusty. I apologize, but yeah. Same situation over here with all the games. I just take select ones. I guess I should make mention. These are just select games that are meaningful. This is one of, for example, me and a buddy that's been on the channel. He's been on the past video I had. This was one of our favorite games in the early 2000s. We played the heck out of it. Thumb says, I have that Rose statue. Nice. Yeah, it's a really neat statue, honestly. Very cool. I have a Sekiro. Blazing Fire says, hello there, Blazing Fire. I'm doing well, thank you very much. How are you doing? I have a lot of the odd statues. Rue, and I have Sekiro, goodness. And I have a Revenant, I believe is what that's called. I have Edward Kenway. I have Heihachi and Kazuya Mishima. There's Vader up there. There's a Hellgast helmet over there. There's a little Grogu over there. Down here is, like I said, Duke Nukem. I'm nerding out right now. This room looks like, thank you very much. Diablo had this little collection, and you'd pull the crystal out of the head, and it was a USB flash drive, which was neat. All these little metal guys are pewter casts of Star Wars figures. I love Star Wars. Dracula, and then I didn't get on this very well, but down here is Dad of Boy. It's a God of War statue. Kind of hard to see. I know it's a little dark. And then, like I said, over here I've got you can't really see it, but it's a Master Chief with a sword. It's really dark, so I apologize. It's kind of hard to see. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. That collection looks just like, thank you. You're back. I tried not to go away, but I got sick. So I tried to stream when I could, but then I got sick and that didn't work out. So, also neat little, I love this. I know it's nerdy. That's the Oregon Trail. When I was little, you would have to go into a computer lab, and some of you guys probably do the same. Celestial says, I've been on Anna's streams. She said you had the flu or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was very flu-like for certain. You had to go into a computer lab, and you had to play this on a ginormous computer if there was one open. There weren't very many of these, And now here it is on a handheld. I can play. I played the Oregon Trail on my channel before with my brother and a very good friend of mine. I can't believe I love this. This is one of my favorite things. They also have a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I haven't picked it up yet, but I played the heck out of those two games. Almost 30 years ago. I love that. I love those. Also, this is a neat thing. I'm curious. I want to see. Is anyone familiar with this? I'm going to go sideways because otherwise I'll give it. Is anyone familiar with this little guy right here? Blazing Fire said, shared you on my community tab. Oh, thank you so very much. It's very kind of you. I was addicted to the Oregon Trail back in school. Oh, heck yes. So I'm curious. I'm a huge fan of Oregon Trail. Like I said, I played it back then. I want to do another playthrough. Give 84. He knows exactly what it is. It's an Ouya. Yeah, so many people didn't. Didn't get one. I got one. It's a Streambox. Oh yeah, yep, yeah. Okay, you guys are too good. Nobody knew what they were around here. I bought one day one. I was admittedly disappointed, but now that I have it, even though it's just a paperweight, I kind of am glad I still have it. Now you guys are too good. Thank you. Like I was showing earlier, these are just some of my favorite ones. I have a whole bunch of them that are very disorganized in there. That is pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah, Little Game Boy Micro. I think there's a game in it right now. Let's see what game's in it. Actually. Riviera, The Promised Land. That's an Atlas, nice little Atlas title. I think I got that one from Junk Dynasty. It's a store in one of the towns close to us. And you are the man, Retro. Thank you so much, Celestial. I really appreciate that. It's a little Atlas title. They do a lot of game sales, and they're really cool. They sell them for fairly cheap. I think I bought that one for like $15, which Atlas games usually go up in value. I don't know what that one's worth, though, at the moment. I know I bought Resident Evil Gaiden from them for $20, and I think it went up to like $60. I was going to guess Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Good guess. That's a very good guess. Sadly, I think that one's in my mess closet. I think that one's up here. Oh, no, it's Aria of Sorrow I had. I don't know where my Circle of the Moon went. Oh, and there's the other thing. This is the other. I guess I can show this one's a little. Okay. So you guys, don't judge me, please. But I still need cases for some of these too. So let's see if I can do it without. I'm doing all of this one-handed, so I apologize. I'm not very. But so I have. It's 48. I'm sorry. I guess did I exaggerate, or is this two-sided? Oh, it is two-sided. Okay. It's actually 96. Okay. I didn't exaggerate. I misspoke, though, so I apologize for that. Yes, I love chess. I'm no Gary Kasparov, but I do enjoy chess. Yes. But yeah, so I still am missing cases for a lot of them. But I try to keep them in a decent order as best as I can. But yeah, most of these are PS2. I think I have some that are Xbox, but yeah. So PS2 is probably my least played system, to be fair. I've played it, but so some of these are empty. So how many do I have filled right now? I have 61 filled. So yeah, but anyway. Have you seen the Transformers Kickstarter's chess set? I have not. I would certainly be interested to see it. I bought this. So I bought this at I bought this chess set. Here, I'm going to hold this with my pinky so that I can zip it. Very elegant of me, is it not? There we are. I did not see that. I'd love to see it, though. Oh, God, do I miss those days of having all my... I know, there's something nostalgic about it. I like having cases. I would love and would rather have cases, but there is a charm to having the CD books, and I have a couple of them. There's another one over here. It's underneath my crimper. So yeah, let's see. I'll put that back on top. I should probably keep this spare so I don't forget that I had one. Okay, it doesn't fit. That's why I did that. So, okay. It's very expensive to get involved, but it is gorgeous. I want to take a look at that. I would love to take a look at that. I'm giving away. This is everything and all that. This is just one of mine. Is this guy. Also, just for anybody who didn't see the original video, this is the microphone I'm going to be giving away. This is the AKG P220. It is a really pretty microphone, and even better, it's a really good sounding microphone. No, I'm going to take a look at it because I love chess sets. I bought this one at a there's a luggage store in the town near me, and they sell all kinds of movable media, movable entertainment, etc. And so I have this one, which was my favorite of them. They had one that I wanted, which was a stone table with, it was supposed to be amethyst and jade pieces, but sadly it was pretty decently small, and it was super expensive for it. It was, I think, $350. And this one right here is to give you kind of a sense of scale. My hand, this is a decent size board, and these expensive chess set, and this is probably the most expensive one I've bought. This one I did pay full price. I mean, that's probably expensive for a chessboard, but at the same time, that was one of those kind of rewards. I I had done something really big that day, and I went there with a buddy to pick it out and grab it. My buddy Brock, by the way, if you ever do see this, thanks for going with me to pick that up. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I will take a look at the Transformer set. I think that'll be great. But yeah, this will be you'll get an exact one, except for it'll come with it's right down there. It'll come in a case and all that good stuff. But this is the microphone I'll be giving away with shock mount. It'll also have a wind screen on top that you can put on top, and cable and interface. So all you'll need to get going is, if you have a computer, plug it into that, and you'll be good to go. So I'll give more details on that later this week, hopefully in a tweet. But yeah, I'll be giving one of these away. Have to go. So cool seeing this game room at the retro room. Everyone it's good seeing you too, Kamikaze. I appreciate you so much for stopping in. Thank you so much. I'm going to put this microphone back down here. Oof. A lot of GameCube in here too, and disinfectant wipes. That was my GameCube was my find for a while. I was trying to find all the rare games and games that I liked a lot. They had, for example, Gladius, not a rare game, but one I really enjoyed. And then on the opposite side, see if it's here. That's a ring light, by the way, if anyone is wondering what slide away. See, the other thing I noticed is GameCube, and I'm a little happy about it, is I started doing, let me pull this out here. Games like this started becoming really expensive. And I bought this back in the day. Now, granted, it wasn't necessarily the cheapest back then, but now I think they're starting to go for really expensive. Like, I think I had paid $30, maybe. Maybe I paid $30 for this, which I think has gotten expensive. Just tagged you in a tweet. Oh, thank you, Gib. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But I started doing a lot. Actually, I want to show a little of this off, if I may, just because I'm very excited that I got to it before things got crazy. Let's move some of these microphones. Oh, by the way, this is really cool. I found it's got tack on it. This is an original X-Men Genesis poster inside of this, and then on the back are the game maps and strats. I love that kind of stuff. I'm finding a frame for it's why it's there. So, but let me see here, some more microphones. I love microphones. There's no real reason I should, but I do. I really like them. Let's see. Are these the ones? So some of these I was able to pick up before it got really, really nice. Like, for example, not The Hobbit. Like Skies of Arcadia I was able to pick up before it got expensive, and Bait and Kaita's Origins. My best story, though, if I had to pick one, and if you guys don't mind me giving one, is, let's see if I can find it. It's not, well, I guess I have two really good ones. This one, Tales of Symphonia. Ribbit King is, I guess this one's a really good one. I did buy Ribbit King. This one was really cool. I highly recommend this game. It's Frog Golf. It's really funny. Bought this from a gentleman who did it for a good price. He didn't think it was going to work, and I was able to fix it. So I only paid $30 for it. But there's one that let's see if I can find it. Right there, actually. So I actually paid full price for this. This is expensive. This one's one that I just really enjoyed. However, apparently a lot of people are looking for this one now. And I bought this. This is going to sound weird. I bought this for $10. And the guy that sold it to me didn't think it was going to work, insisted it probably wasn't going to work, all that kind of good stuff. And I asked him, I said, well, can I buy? He said, we're just going to trash it. I said, can I buy it from you? I'll give you money for it just for the case and the disc. I don't have the manual, but I do have the disc. And he says, oh, I think it'll, he says, I think it'll work. Or I don't think it'll work. We're just going to throw it away. I said, look, I'll pay you just for the case and the disc as physical items. And he says, okay. He says, I want $10 for it. I pay him $10. I go back and I was able to resurface this, and it works like a charm. It actually is. I love Fire Emblem. So it's actually a blast to play. So, but yeah, I have some decent titles. That are really nice. I'm always going to have a Star Wars title, Ikaruga, Billy Hatcher, Metal Gear Solid, etc. There's all kinds of good fun stuff in there. I think there are more back here behind these. Baten Kaitos and such. So these are all really fun. And I will take a look. I'll keep you in mind, heavyweights, for those. I think everything is going crazy here in terms of the dogs. But yeah, so lots of good little odds and ends. I just like to pick up where I can. Gibby Forces Twin Snakes, aka James Money 615 says, "Hey, hi there," aka James Money 615. Twin Snakes is nice. Let's see. Here it is. Sadly, it is the yellow label, but that's okay. I just wanted to play it. But yeah, Twin Snakes. I really went full into this pretty quick, and I really enjoyed the heck out of it. I tend to pick up. I'm finding that I tend to pick up or try to pick up a lot of the Metal Gear Solid stuff too. Down here, for example, is the Metal Gear Solid 4 collectors, and it has this neat little metal plate. And then there are these two DVDs and Blu-rays, which were Metal Gear as well. And just have a lot of cool stuff, plus the soundtrack, which was amazing, and all of that. So yeah, I do try to do a lot of that as well. It's really nice. Yeah, man, MGS and the MGS2 engine perfection. That's true. That's true. I did do this. I will say this. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know where I'll have it. Oh, I don't know where I have it, honestly. I was going to grab it, but I don't know. Oh, I guess I have an idea of where it is. It'll be over here. I will say one of the best purchases I think you can make, I don't know what it costs anymore, but is if you can get it, the Metal Gear Solid collection for PS3 is amazing. I don't know if I can get to mine, sadly, because it looks like they're back there, and like I said, these games go a couple deep, so just while they're here, I'll have to go back and reorganize. But yeah, these are that's one of my absolute favorites. I love Metal Gear Solid, honestly. Oof. But yeah, like I said, I guess I'll kind of wrap everything up. But this is kind of what my gaming room looks like, and what I do, and all that good stuff. Oh, I guess I didn't show this one off, but here I also have, let it refocus, some additional Wii games right there. This looks all chipped up. I'll need to refinish that, restain it. But yeah, controllers and extra Wii games as well. But yeah, I'm a big fan of gaming, and this is kind of what my room setup looks like. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I really want to say thank you so much for everybody who came into it. A super special thank you to everybody who put a post or a tweet or something out there that tried to say, hey, come get a friend to look at it or something. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. What I was hoping for this to be wasn't really just I'm showing off my game room or any of that. It was really, I had gotten questions from a couple of people. And I guess I can say some of them. I've spoken with people like Brady and the Super Mega Retro dudes, who are really awesome people. If you haven't gotten a chance to check them out, they're really cool. At least they've always been really cool to me. Gibbs says, this has been a really cool room tour, mate. Take care. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. They were asking just questions about how I do things, how I get everything set up and all that. So what I'll probably do, I'll go back on this. I'll maybe edit it a little bit to make sure, edit just the tiniest bit off to make sure there's no awkward silence or pause at the beginning. Put a nice thumbnail on it and leave it up so that if anybody has any questions about maybe their setup, that they'll be able to see what mine looks like and use it as a resource or ask questions or put comments on, all that good stuff. But anyway, I hope you guys had fun, and thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys a little later.